Hi, so in this video we're going to do some more advanced symbol work. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to build on what we have here with these swatches. So in my site I'm going to have various types of buttons. Depending on the background and the type of button it is, sometimes the button might be purple, sometimes it might be green. If it's a dark background, it might be like this gray or possibly maybe a white. Maybe I'll add another swatch so it stands out a little bit. And I want to be able to really have control of the colors, change them up. If I change my mind, I don't want to have to redo a lot of work. So the way I'm going to start that off is by creating symbols. So we've created the shared styles, that's great. But now let's make this even a little bit better. So now I'm going to go back into all of these, and I'm going to click on Create Symbol, and I will call this, remember, swatch, use the slash, and then dark purple. And remember, if I create a slash, then it's going to create these nice little folders, so everything's nice and organized. Then here, I'm going to create this swatch, and I'll just copy that. Oops, beige. This is light purple. And I'm going to do the same here. Dark. And okay, so now I created all the swatches. If I go into Insert Symbols, you'll see my swatches, and they're all there. Great. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a button. So let me grab one of these. Let me grab one of these swatches, right? And I'll just paste it over here. So the button here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, let's try to make a button. Get some sizes that actually are close to what a button should be. So just for reference, I could I'm going to material design, the guidelines, right? So I just did a material design. I went to material design and I looked for button. So over here under components. And material design does a really good job in the different sorts of documentation. So, everything you need is here. So this is going to be a default button. It's going to be 36 pixels high. It's got to have a 16 pixel. This is what's called padding, right? The space from both sides. It's going to have a 16 pixel padding. And that's really all we need for now. So let's get that going. So we said 36 pixels high, so just go here. So high, let's say 36, right? And let's just zoom in, all right? Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to, so the button text here is 14 points. Okay, so we don't have a 14 point. Remember, we did create some styles before. Notice over here, but we don't have a button. So let's create a new, I'm going to grab a new thing here. I'm going to make this 14, right? And then I'm going to create a new text style, and it's going to be called, we could call that like, let's just say button style, right? Okay, so now we have button style. So now I can grab some text, type, say, label, right? And go in and select button style. The button style is black. We actually want button style to be white. Okay, now that's better. So I will now, I'm going to align this so it aligns to the center, to the middle, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component, or I'm sorry, a symbol. And I'm going to call it UI button, right? And we've got it, right? Now, when I click on this, what you'll notice on the override, we have two overrides. We have label and we have swatches. And now I can go to my swatch and change it to anything. Make it gray. I can make it, green. Any color I want, which is great. And I could also change the color, right? So that's really good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to create an icon. So this is one type of button, but I also want an icon button, right? So let's actually we'll go into our symbols page here, and here are all my swatches, and over there's my button. Right, so right from my symbols page, I'm just going to create a new, oops. Actually, this reminded me, we have one other thing to do. Let's just, first we'll call this here, we'll call it icon button. But what I wanted to show you here is if we go back to page 1 and I write something that's long, this is my label, right? It's going to look all crazy, right? So what we need to do, we need to fix this. So let's go back to the symbol, and you'll notice that the left and right of this is, we need to stretch this out. And if you remember, it said 16 pixels, right? So we can move this over to 16. That's what we could do. Make this full size, right? Make that full size. And then what we could do is we could move this to 16, and that moved it over. Now that moved over this part, which is actually bring it back to full size here, right? And then what you can do here, because it's hard to figure out what that 16 is, so you can go and on the width, just say minus 16, and it does it for you. And then just do center, and now you are golden. So now if I were going, oops, let's look back over here. So that, okay, so that didn't need, so for this, because it's it's wrapping, we can fix that too. So here, what we can do here is we want to make sure that this sticks to the top, right? So that never moves. And let's go here. And now I can move this over, and there we go. See, now it looks nice. But we want to keep it at, what did we say? 36. Right, so let's say height equals 36. And then what we could do is just move this over like that, like so. And there you go. So now you have, now it works just like this here. The next thing I want to do is with the icons. Let's go back there. Now with the icon, I want to create an icon and place it right here. I want this. So we want it to have 16. I want to have 16 space over here, and then we want another 16 space between the icon and the label. Now, one of the things, when you want to be very exact, what's really good to do is, if you just go back here and you create a little rectangle, right, and then just make it width 16, say height, say 700, right, to get rid of this border. And then what you can do is you can create, you can make it, typically the way that I'll do it is I'll make it just like blue, nice and transparent, right? And it's 16, so this is actually what I would say, I call it a 1x because we base everything on 16 because that's the base font. So let's make this 1x. You know, let's just make this really small. This is 500, oops, 500. Right, so I will create a little text. It's going to say 1x. That way I know 1x is based off of 16, so that's 16. And then I will center this there and there. And let me make this a little bit smaller. There. Okay, so we have 1x. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, I'm going to create a symbol. I'm going to call it maybe spacer 1x, right? And then what you would do is you would create 2x, 3x, 4x, right? And then that way all your spacing is going to be really nice. That's your column. And then what you want to do is you want to actually create your row as well. So, but we'll just go right to the symbols for now. Okay, so I have this symbol here. Now what we could do is we need to add in, actually, yeah, first you want to add in some of these icons. So there's 2 SVGs that I got, and I got the SVGs from Material Icons. So if you do Material Design Icons, you'll get to this site. I just grabbed 2. I'm going to grab those. I downloaded them as SVGs. I just tossed them in here. Right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create symbols out of these. So I go to Symbol, and I'm going to call it Icon and Start. And then I will say icon and heart. Okay, so now I created 2 icons. And now I can just delete them from here because I want to actually use the symbol, not the shape. So now I'll go to Insert Symbol, Icon, and I just grab this heart, and I will add it right there. Okay, and actually, you know what? I want this icon to be white, as well as this one. What's going on there? Oh well. And white. Okay, so we got these white icons. Now this heart looks nice and white, so let's go here and we're going to move this to X16, right? But I also want it to have a 16 for this label. And to do that, I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to get my little spacer, 1x. Right, and then I think it's kind of nice and small. And this is what you can start to use. So here, I guess, you can start to make everything look nice and formatted. Nicely formatted. All right, so that's what it's looking like now. But you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I feel like it's a little bit far. So maybe I want to, it's at 16 now, so what I could do, I want to maybe make it 8. So if I were to move it x minus 8, then I get a little bit closer. And that's perfect. And then this I want to make it end at 16, so I will say width minus 16, and then there's that. Okay, so now I have my icon button. So if I go and I insert symbol, icon button, now that works nicely, but whoa, what just happened there? Okay, so now we gotta work on some of this resizing stuff. So let's go back to the symbols, and we don't want it to stretch that way, right? So we want to click on one of these, and we want to say fix both width and height, and I don't want it to move from this point here. I always want it to have that 16, so we're going to anchor it to the left. Right. Same thing with my label. I always want it to be anchored there, so anchor left. I don't need it to be fixed height because I want that to actually, if I have multiple text, I want this to actually get larger. And I want it to actually be anchored to the top too. Same with this. So anchored to the top left. And that's it. Let's test this out now. So if I go here, oops, I think very nice. Okay, so that's that. That is how you create buttons. Now same thing with here. Now I could change the icons. I could change it to a star. I could change this to my label. And then I can also change my swatches. All right, so that's how you do some more advanced symbols. All right, have a good night.